It's been a while. We're back. You guys have been asking, when are you guys going to do Chodecast? When are you going to bring it back? Well, we brought it back. So hopefully you guys are still around. Hopefully you guys, if you're brand new, you subscribe. So it's me, Eric, and Shady J. How's it going, dude?
It's going pretty swell, man. Things are busy, but busy is really good, and we're going to get into all that. So, again, I want to say hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you're a follower, if you're from the beginning, you know this was called the Chodecast. We did rebrand that to the Not Bad Podcast. I think we went with that because at the time we were always saying, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, it stems from Keeb saying not bad, but also with, I guess, in regards to branding, you know, you can't exactly like it's just more, I guess, general accepted to be called not bad than Chode.
I brought it up to you way back when, and I mean, hell, we're talking years now. I was like, hey, I don't even remember this. You remember this conversation? But I was like, so yeah, Chodecast, that's funny and all, but what if, you know, maybe we don't get invites out to cons and stuff like that because of the name, and our logo was very it was shaped like a penis and balls. That's his bottom line. And I think I even told you, I was like, you know, like I'd be a little uncomfortable putting this on my websites, you know, my convention websites. So other people definitely would too. And this is, you know, my podcast. So anyways, Not Bad Podcast. We don't mind if you guys refer to us as the Chodecast still, but going forward, you know, Not Bad Podcast, because, well,
that's, I guess on an official level, it's not bad, but if you guys wanted to nickname us the Chodecast,
word,
you can still say that. Everybody has their own little thing anyways, you know, like H3 podcast, they're called like the Fupa Troopas and stuff like that.
Right. So yeah, going forward, guys, we're going to do what is this podcast going to be about? Honestly, anything and everything. I don't think we need to be limited to one thing specific. You know, will we touch on current event topics and stuff like that? Yeah, probably, most likely. If new movie's coming out, we'll talk about that. If, you know, a new game or something big in the gaming news and modern retro, whatever the case may be. I think it's still actually a lesser known fact that I modern game a lot, and I know you do. You've started to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people actually know that, because our main channels, you know, your 8-Bit Eric channel and, you know, mine, I guess, Game Chasers or Shady J show, it's a lot of retro gaming stuff. So, but yeah, we'll talk about, I mean, honestly, all kinds of just everything. Like, yeah,
it's going to be open to general, like, topics, stuff that we're interested in. I guess pop culture. You know, stuff like that. I feel like it's an avenue of being able to talk about stuff that I really don't put on my main channel, and I guess maybe it's the same for you as well.
Same, and yes.
I feel maybe it's a little bit way to maybe talk and chat with people that watch us.
Yeah.
I know people we'll do our best to cover a lot of stuff. Honestly, I think it's more like something that I feel like we'll just go with the flow and see what it is that we feel like talking about. You're not going to see the most like professional, like, you know, you got like those podcast snobs that are like, well, if your stuff isn't set up right and it doesn't sound like this and blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to see that here, man. We're just two chodes chilling and having fun. And we talk on the phone all the time anyway. So it's kind of like, it's kind of us putting our hangout or whatever for you guys to see. So hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Pretty much. I know we're gonna get asked, are you ever gonna have guests? Yes, eventually, at some point. That's the short answer. Who knows? You know, who knows where this channel is gonna go, right? Obviously, we have a lot of friends in the YouTube community that at some point we would definitely love to get on, or maybe if we see, you know, some of these guys at a convention or something, we'll do a little, you know, kind of shoot the shit uploaded to this channel kind of thing. That's actually a good segue. Speaking of conventions, I was going to ask, you know, what's been going on since, I mean, what's it been, 2 years, 3 years since we've done this podcast?
Yeah, I think our last video was called Where Have We Been? And then we never followed up on that.
Yeah.
I will say my full intent is I want us to at least have something come up weekly. So whatever day this comes on, more than likely this will be when the uploads come on.
I like that.
So hold us accountable for it. You know,
Yeah, please,
hopefully,
for sure.
hopefully we'll be on there. But yeah, it's been quite a bit. You know, ebbs and flow of YouTube and life, to be honest. Um, same old with me is in regards, you know, I always get asked, do I still wrestle? Yeah, I still wrestle. I help promote and book for a show called Austin Wrestling Revolution. It's like in San Antonio, Austin area. I'm still doing the YouTube channel. I didn't know you're still making videos. Like apparently some people haven't seen my videos in their feed.
Gotta
That's just the
know,
algorithm,
guys.
man. If
Hey,
you
I
haven't,
wanted to, sorry,
huh?
real quick. I wanted to ask you: are you still the current champ in your wrestling promotion right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so Eric's actually the heavyweight champ right now. So
Yeah.
don't
Currently the
gloss
champ.
over accomplishments. That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Well, no, it's called being humble, you know.
I understand. I understand.
Um, but no, yeah. When in regards to YouTube channel, make sure you guys do follow our main channels. I know you live stream almost daily,
I
and
do. I do.
you've been
Yeah.
trying to get content out somewhat regular. With me, I'm daily as well. So guys, just make sure you know the algorithm is stupid. If you miss out on one video, that it assumes that you don't want any videos.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't like or even dislike or comment, it assumes that you don't care about it.
Yeah.
So
So if you guys don't, if you are new to this and you don't know what other channels we have, Eric's channel is 8-Bit Eric, and my channel is the Shady J Show. Alternately, I got the Game Chasers channel, which is, my channel is kind of a spin-off from that, but I'm definitely making my own way with my own channel. It's funny because, on here we're going to talk about stuff we wouldn't typically put on our channels. On my channel, it's stuff that we wouldn't typically put on the Game Chasers channel. So I'm kind of rabbit holing down my way into talking about anything and everything I want to, but I'm all right with it. This is fun. I like doing the podcast. Speaking of podcasts, we just launched a new podcast a couple of weeks ago, actually, at time of filming, and that podcast, guys, is called The Toy Aisle, and it is strictly toy talk. It's strictly toy talk. We do have 2 episodes up. It is me, Eric, and RGT85 actually on that podcast. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the Toy Aisle, please do that. If you like toys, know someone who likes toys. And before we get into, questions on that, yes, we will be covering literally everything. If there's
I've seen some people already asking if we were going to cover new lines and stuff like that.
We will eventually, yes.
Yeah, toys in general. We're looking again with that one once a week as well. Right now I have it coming out on Mondays. We do them pre-recorded, but we do these YouTube premieres where we're able to kind of like chat like if it was a live stream, and I actually kind of like that.
I like
it allows me to I mean, it would be hard to hold a podcast convo and actually react to people in real time with keeping the convo steady. So I think it's pretty cool like that, and we've already got like 1,000 subs on it. So first of all, thanks to everybody who has subbed. It's kind of like a more casual, like I wouldn't say exactly a hobby. It's something that we're having fun with, and it's cool to see it grow and people show interest. And RGT's community might not know about us, me and you personally, as much as beyond Game Chasers or whatever. So it's a cool way of actually kind of attracting a new audience and doing something that, again, you touch on toys a little bit on your channel, but it's a little bit more of a casual like experience, like making a video and doing a YouTube podcast is a little bit more different. Sometimes I feel a little bit more laid back form content like a podcast is feels a little bit more natural, honestly.
For sure. Yeah, definitely, for sure. YouTube, when you're doing YouTube video, there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and not that we aren't planning topics and stuff like that, but it's funny, literally Eric was like, hey, I sent you the link, we got on it, we're like, so let's just do a general talk right now and what's been going on. Boom, go record. But that's the beauty part about a podcast, is you can do something like that. The first episode on the Toy Aisle was basically an introduction episode, and it's us 3 talking about toys that we grew up with and toys that we're collecting now and whatnot. And the second episode, actually it was Eric's idea, was like, hey, I know you got a lot of New Kids on the Block stuff. Let's talk about New Kids on the Block toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the idea because I am a New Kids on the Block fan, but I love the idea of touching on toy lines that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, we will hit Turtles, we will hit G.I. Joe, we will hit Ghostbusters and Transformers and, you know, all the big lines that ever came out. But we're also going to get to a point where we're going to have to touch on these lesser known lines. These less
and that was like the first one in the comments is people are like, talk about Turtles. It's like, well, yeah, we will. Just everybody and their mothers already talked about that.
Everyone, their mothers already talked about that. And also, you know, when it comes to a big line like that, not that I don't have a lot of Turtles toys and whatnot, but it would definitely be good to have a guest spot on that one. You know, someone like Billy's pretty big into Turtles, or Andre, you know, Black Nerd, Andre Meadows, Black Nerd Comedy. You know, for instance, I'm just saying. So like, when we talk about Transformers, honestly, Melvor, I don't know of a bigger Transformers guy than Melvor. So,
exactly.
You know,
that's already been requested a lot too. Everybody's already saying you need to get Melvor on this. You need to get him on it. And I hear y'all. We'll get him on it eventually.
Yeah, we hear you guys. Trust us. But what was cool is, like, you know, I kind of led the charge on that New Kids episode, and you guys were totally cool about it. No one got, you know, fucking ego and, oh, I'm not getting enough airtime. None of them, because we are all three friends. I don't even think people know that we're friends with RGT. We have several group chats going, and we've had them for years that not only the three of us, but a couple of other people that you guys watch are in. So yeah, we've known each other a long time. But we're going to get into lines. Oh, and I have a lot of toys, so it was cool to sit here and be able to go, hey, guys, check this out. Look at this stage. Look at these plushies. Look at these action figures, you know. But we're going to get into lines that these guys are going to know way more than me about. You know, RGT, for instance, he's big on the wrestling figures. You know, the old school wrestling figures from the 80s and whatnot. And, yeah, I know a little bit about that, but I'll be more than happy to sit back and listen to him and what he knows about it, you know.
Yeah, same. It's more of like a... Like if I was to say it, it's not so much like I know some people are kind of confused on what it is. Some think it's more like tips on toy collecting, which it can be that, but it also could be just chatting it up and maybe having like nostalgic, you know, conversations about stuff that we used to have and stuff. Like I'm not going to have every single toy that we talk about.
Of course not.
You know, I can learn new stuff by listening to y'all, and other people that are joining in and watching could be like, oh shit, I had those, you know? So it's kind of like a cool, like, you know, like I call it the equivalent as if we were just shooting the shit like in person, you know, somewhere randomly or.
Right. But we do know we are talking to an audience as well. So, you know, we did come with a little bit of history, you know, on the new, and again, we're only 2 episodes in, guys. So, you know, give us time to get a groove going and you know, find out what's working and whatnot. But yeah, having, you know, knowing some of these things just like off the top of your head is a great thing to do and be able to do. I'm not opposed to collecting tips, but honestly, collecting toys is the same as video games or anything else. You go out and you look for it, you know, especially we're talking newer toys. And again, this is cool because we can talk about anything right here. So newer toys, you're into pop figures. If you're into, you know, the new Turbo Man or the new Turtles line or the new Ghostbusters line, go down the toy aisle. Like that's the best tip for you. Go down the toy aisle. That's where it's going to be the cheapest if you can find it there. Because if you wait and you go to a toy store, you know, you know, buy sell trade store like that, or like a used video game store that carries toys and stuff like that, they're definitely going to be looking up the aftermarket value on these. They're going to be looking up the, you know, the black market value, if you will. So, and if you go to a convention, it's going to be the same thing. So your best bet to get something the cheapest is to actually go to the store. I guess you could also sign up to be a seller of these toys. Like Playmates has the Turtles line right now. You could contact them and be like, hey, or Hasbro or whoever, and go,
that's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, if you can say, well, I got a store, you know, here's my tax ID number, which is not a hard thing to get. You can go down and file as a DBA and you know, in your local county courthouse, and it costs you like $20 or something. And pro tip, if you do that and you go buy these toys, you can actually use this as a write-off because that's inventory. You know what I mean? So and it's funny, I made a vlog video where I was kind of going around shopping for newer stuff the other day, and I mentioned something about that because I'm buying these toys, but because I put it on YouTube and it's a way for people to watch my videos that makes me money, because my channel's monetized, I can actually write off these toys.
Yeah. And real quick, somebody mentioned that to me too. They're like, oh, well, how can you do that? Honestly, though, real quick, just to clarify, it's depending on what you write your taxes off for, like what form you're doing. So if you have like a self-employment 1099, then you can.
Right.
So,
on what is it, 1042 or the easy? No. But and this is what I'm saying. You got to go and get yourself incorporated, even if it's just a DBA. You don't have to go set up an LLC or anything like that. I don't know where it is in other places, but an LLC here in Texas is like $300 or $350 to set up. Where like a DBA, doing business as, you can literally, fucking make an online store.
See, I don't even have
online store where you have
sales. I just do it with Screenwave as the MCN. And I just write off from that. I don't have any of the S corps or anything like that other people say to do. I'm just like, I'm just keeping it easy. But we're not tax experts, first of all, real quick, full disclosure. So, just in case anybody tries to take tax advice from us real quick.
Yeah, we're not CPAs, so you're right. Here's your disclaimer right now. Don't listen to us. But you don't necessarily have to incorporate. It's just a way. Yeah. It's like, look, if you all of a sudden start coming with, X amount of dollars more on your deducts than the year before, the IRS is going to go, hey, what's this all about?
Yeah.
So if you are incorporated, it's a little easier to go, oh, well, I set up an online shop, or I set up a DBA so I can go around to various conventions and trade shows and stuff like that to be able to sell merchandise.
Yeah.
And you're obviously supposed to report things, if you set up a PayPal account or a Square account or something like that, so you can take credit card payments, all that kind of stuff. Obviously you should be reporting that at the end of the year, but also stuff you buy is tax deductible. Look at it like this. If you buy something that's helping make you money, you can write that off.
Yeah.
Okay. So even, talking about like, okay, the Game Chaser show, right? All this traveling that we do, and we record all of it, we chronicle all of it. So if the IRS was ever like, man, you guys have a lot of gas receipts, what's up? We can show them our YouTube channel and go, well, we had to spend money to get to this show. And it's no different than buying an airplane ticket, which you can write off too.
Yeah.
Because like me, I run conventions. So when I bring guests out, when I fly guests out, when I give them gas money, stuff like that, I can write all of that stuff off because it's a business expense. It's used for business. Speaking of conventions, I got some big exciting news to share. So conventions are now back in our area, at least in our state. They are back. Retropalooza is coming up in October 23rd and 4th, 2021. Eric will be a guest there. Eric and Chief, I believe, Billy too, but he don't necessarily count because of course he's going to be there, right? But Eric and Chief are the two guests I've had who have never missed one of my shows. The main show, Retropalooza 1 through, this is 8 coming up. And then the Houston one, we just did 5 in July, actually, the 5th one in July. Eric and Chief have been to every single one of them. So that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the dedication.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, though, if there's anybody in the Southern California area watching us right now and you know of, or even if you're hearing about this event for the first time, SoCal Retro Gaming Expo is coming back in February 26th and 7th, 2022 at the Ontario Convention Center in Ontario, California. That is just outside of Los Angeles. And why am I mentioning this and so excited and know so much about this off the top of my head? Because I am actually a half owner in that convention now. So, your boy acquired a convention since last we talked. So SoCalRetroGamingExpo.com, Retropalooza.com if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or Houston, or just anywhere near driving distance. Get out there and be social, guys. I think we need it, right?
Yeah. Speaking of other conventions, I'll be in a couple of weeks at Too Many Games Expo. It's my first time there since 2017, so I'll be back
can't go,
there.
Unfortunately, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So if anybody watching this will be at Too Many Games Expo, I will be there.
That is in
I don't think I know.
That is in Oaks, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia, if you're wondering if you're in the Northeast.
Yeah, I don't know too many. Personally, I think aside from, like, I know some people. I know most of the guests are going to be there, but, like, you and Billy aren't going to be there. So that's, like, a first. Jordan will be there. Wood will be there. I think
I just saw that the other day. Yeah,
Spawncast. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I guess it's me and Wood are gonna hang out alone together without y'all for the first time ever.
I guess so, right? Like,
and it's his birthday weekend too, so he told me he's pretty excited about it.
Okay,
so
nice.
I think he told me he wants to try to go have dinner or something. So
I mean, you gotta eat. Might as well eat with him, right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. It's my first time back there. I like the Philadelphia area. I like to just try, like if I could take like a little like trip, like fly somewhere for even if it's a weekend. It's a lot of fun, and then going to conventions, even though I'm tired and I have lack of sleep and stuff like that, it's still a lot of fun to go out and meet you people. And then of course Retropalooza is always a blast as well. Looking forward to that one.
Thank you.
And then SoCal, hopefully I'm not no pressure, but hopefully I get invited out. I'd like that.
Well, I mean, I just assumed you were going, so I'm adding you to the site already. So I guess
my stupid haircut photo.
Your what?
A stupid photo with the haircut.
I'm gonna go with that black and white photo because, dude, your picture is just so outdated, and ours is too. Like, I don't know why the picture is being used. That's being used on the Retropalooza page, but I was like,
who's in charge of that one?
Huh? Well, yeah, me, obviously, but I don't do web stuff, so I told my webmaster, I'm like, let's get rid of this picture and figure out how to burn a digital picture because I don't ever want to see it on my websites again. Like, I don't even know why this picture's there. It's not them; it was the web person before them who was using that pic, and it's just kind of what's in the database, I guess, and the folder, Retropalooza folder. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I want you there. So I mean, yeah, you're coming.
All right, cool.
You're coming. So
we need to go to well, you'll be too fucking busy. Never mind.
Well, I'll be able to come around a little bit before and after because, now obviously before when I was going, I was just going and it was like, okay, let me come in with my DVDs and shirts and set up shop and then go downtown and go to Hollywood Boulevard and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we need to go to Hollywood and we need to go to the fucking beach.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be a little more involved, obviously. I can't not be, but I'm going to have to go in a couple of days early. And this is actually why I'm missing Too Many Games this year. And I don't want to miss Too Many Games. I love going to Too Many Games. I've been there 6-7 times or something. I love it. But it's 2 weeks before Retropalooza. I usually have a 30-day no travel rule before one of my events. And that is in that 30 days. Also, I have to get out to California at some point and grab whatever the previous owners of SoCal Retro Gaming Expo have for the expo. I got to get it out of where they're storing it and put it in my own and whatnot. And I know the owners. I'm cool with the owners, so it's not like it's super, they're not, hey, hurry up and get out here kind of thing. But, they shouldn't have to deal with my shit. Also, the thing is, like, I got to get out there before October because if I wait around and don't do it before the 1st, then it's going to be harder and harder for me to get out there. I also need to make a trip to Vegas because I have about 30 arcade machines out there that I need to get back here that I will have at Retropalooza as well. So having, potentially 2 trips or 1 long trip, like go to California first for a few days, deal with that, go to Vegas after that, get loaded up and then drive home. It's a 2-day drive home from there. I'm either gone a week or I'm gone 2 different trips, plus I'm not ready yet at this point. I'm getting there. I'm pretty close to being ready for, Retropalooza. It's, things like getting the tournament scheduled together and getting the panel scheduled together and the room list and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But, that's my responsibility and I need to be here for that. So, yeah, that's the 2 biggest reasons for not going to too many games this year. So maybe next year. Hopefully I'll move back to June next year.
Yeah, they're doing it a different month this year, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't want to get into COVID talk, but that's why it's in October this year and not June. It's usually in June, but it's basically a reschedule of 2019's event. And they were going to try to do June this year, I think, but I think that they decided that giving it a couple of extra months was probably better. And I don't disagree with that thought process, honestly. I don't think it's a bad idea. Let more vaccines get out there and whatever, if people are comfortable doing that and yada, yada, yada. So anyways, it is what it is. And I can't go. That's the long version. So, but anyway, yeah, that's, it's kind of what's been going on.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys watching this are excited to see us back with this podcast again. Feel free to send us topic ideas and stuff on a regular basis or tweet us, and we'll see what we can do as far as that. We'll also probably have like a Q&A segment or something like that, kind of keep it a little bit interactive. Make sure you do have notifications set for this channel too.
Is there anything that's happened recently that you want to touch on before, people go, oh, what about this? What about that? What about, any movie trailers or,
honestly, I haven't been paying attention to anything. Like I just barely saw the showcase. Like I saw the PlayStation 5 showcase late.
Yeah. I hadn't even seen that yet, actually.
I talked about it on my channel very briefly. And I also touched on some news because, the GTA, the GTA 5 enhanced trailers are getting like mega dislike bombed, like thousands and thousands of dislikes on it because people are just fed up with GTA 5. And
it's I don't think it's that they're fed up with GTA 5. They just want 6. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're pretty much like, hey, we don't need another port of this. Let's get 6.
Right. And I understand that thought process. I understand that mentality. I'm ready for 6 too, but at the same time, you griping about it isn't going to make Rockstar go, oh shit, they can't wait. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, Enhanced was supposed to be coming out in November. And now it got moved to March. So people are like, I guess what threw a lot of people off is the trailer. Looking at the gameplay, it doesn't look like much of a difference between the PS4 version and the Xbox One version. So a lot of people are like, what the fuck? Like, y'all couldn't just do how they do online patches and add updates to it?
Yes.
So you couldn't just do that. We have to wait for an actual like full-fledged port. And
I mean, yeah, no, I'd be upset too. But see, here's the thing though. Right now, you're not missing out if you don't have the current gen console, in my opinion. Right now, PlayStation 5, I'll speak to that specifically because I have one. Guys, you're not missing out. I don't think, like, I got the Miles Morales Spider-Man at launch.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I didn't think it looked any different than the Spider-Man that was on PS4. I've got the show on PS5. Can't really tell a difference between that one and 2020 on PlayStation 4. I had Subnautica, I think it's Subnautica 2 on PS5, and like, okay, I mean, the graphics on that aren't super great. I do have Resident Evil Village on PS5. I don't see a big graphical difference. I've got Jedi Fallen Order, which I believe was a port as well, right, on PS5, and it looks fine. But I'm not like, yeah, PlayStation 5 next gen graphics. Fuck PlayStation 4, it's dead now. No, like I just don't see it. I think it's going to be a while before we see a game dev really, push the limitations of what they can do, on the console graphically. I think it's going to be a while. So, guys, if you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, it's okay. Just wait. Be patient. It'll be there eventually.
To touch on that, man, and I know you're a Sony guy.
I am.
They're making a lot of mistakes this gen. For example, that I don't know if you heard about the mess with the Horizon Forbidden West situation. Huh?
I did not.
So you know how they're okay. So when they first announced the PlayStation 5, they said all cross-gen titles. So it's games that are PS4 and PS5, right?
Right.
We'll have that our first-party cross-gen titles will have a free upgrade to the next-gen version. So let's say you bought, let's see, something that was on both. Miles Morales, for example, you bought the PlayStation 4 version. Okay. You would be able to get the PS5 version free, right?
Okay. Like a digital code or something?
Launch only ones, yeah. Yeah, you would get an upgrade. Like okay. You would get a download to get the PS5. Well, since Horizon Forbidden West got delayed, Sony tried to say it's no longer a launch title and that you're going to have to pay $10 more to get the PS5 version.
Okay, but is that a Sony IP?
It's one of their main first party titles.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got so much backlash from it that Sony finally caved in and said, "Okay, fine, we'll honor it." But going forward with God of War and all these other first party titles that are going to be coming out, they're not going to do that anymore. And oftentimes, it's if you wanted, like what they were going to do with Horizon Forbidden West is you either pay the fee or you have to buy like the collector's edition or whatever to get access to it. So there's basically like little things like that Sony's doing, but Xbox, they're doing things like no matter whatever version of the game you buy, depending on what you put it, they call it smart delivery. So let's say I buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? Okay. If I put in the Xbox One, it plays that version. If I put in the Xbox Series X, it automatically gives you the highest version with no extra cost, or any kind of Microsoft, any game, whether it's first party, third party, whatever.
Interesting.
Some of them do give you the crap like Madden and the EA shit. They give you the runaround, but like just alone on the upgrade pass for next gen, Microsoft's a little bit more consumer friendly. Also with the whole day one Game Pass stuff. So in my opinion, it's almost like they flipped, and Sony's been pissing off a lot of people too this generation with how slow of a turnout they're having with the first party exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
So, but honestly, I think most of that is because of the pandemic. The showcase was solid, I think, but my only gripe now is that there's just too many cross-gen games. I want to see full dedicated next-gen games.
Right, and I think until we are at a point to full dedication from whoever, Capcom, EA, whoever, we're not going to see, people pushing the limits on what they can do with the hardware. Now I'm not a tech guy, so I couldn't tell you why it's better than the PlayStation 4, other than it has 5 after PlayStation. Supposed to be better in theory, right? Going forward, every gen is better than the next, more powerful, better graphics.
Yeah. Right now, what it mostly comes down to is frame rate. That's mostly what it is.
Okay.
It just the difference between 60 HZ refresh rate or 120 HZ refresh rate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's basically what it comes down to. Oftentimes, for the most part, there isn't much of a graphical difference, I'll admit. But there is some small stuff that if you do have it like on the highest performance, you will notice it. Like, all the stuff with ray tracing and things like that are pretty impressive.
Right, I gotcha.
One thing that I would like to see them do, and again, Microsoft has been doing this, is they're going back and adding an FPS boost to older games.
Okay.
Sony's done it to a couple, but not many. But like, for example, on the Xbox, they went and added a higher FPS rate for like games like Skyrim or older games that people are playing, and it's like, oh fuck, I'm playing a fucking super high fresh refresh rate of this old like Fallout 4 or basically all
Okay,
the
so
Bethesda games that they bought.
I think that's great for like a super dedicated fan of a series, but for
Yeah.
your casual gamer, for your average 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old sitting around playing a random game, they don't care. So
Yeah.
like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, as big a gamer as I am, and I'm not going to use, I'm a hardcore gamer. Like, what does that even mean? You have no life and you play more hours than the next guys. That's really all that means, honestly. I'm a big gamer. I play a lot of video games, and everything you just said, I'm like, all right, that's cool. But for me, it don't matter. I don't.
I mean, for me, dude, if that means faster loading times for GTA 5 or Skyrim, then I'm okay with it.
Us and it's noticeable, then okay. I'm like, okay, that's really cool. That's important.
Yeah.
Right? If that's where it takes us. But again, if you're talking about the natural progression of technology and with video games specifically, those load times should be getting shorter.
Yeah.
They should be getting shorter. So again, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Like, all right.
But the main point of that, though, is that, and I'm not trying to sound like an X-bot or anti-Sony, is that right now it seems like Sony's nickel and diming while Microsoft is doing these upgrades free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, Microsoft is doing a lot right, and I will say that.
Yeah.
The fact that they're teamed up with Nintendo right now, I think, is big. That's huge. That's not even just huge for them. That's huge for Nintendo. That's not something Nintendo likes to do. It's funny because it's like you've always had this rivalry, the big three, for the last 20 years, right? Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. To imagine that two of the big three are actually working together to try to make a better gaming experience for gamers, whether you're casual or hardcore or whatever the case may be, I think that's awesome. I do wish Sony would get on board with some of that, even if it's just crossplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
they won't get up on the crossplay shit for some reason.
They need to, though. But I think in the show crossplay, you can.
Yeah, the show's crossplay, which that whole situation with the show was interesting. That Microsoft was able to get MLB to hop on that.
Well, the thing is, and I don't. So the show is, if I'm not mistaken, it's San Diego Studios, right? Which I believe is Sony's. If tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, if you want to look this up, you can. But I got the game right here. Let me look at the back.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even on the Xbox, the box for the Xbox version, you have the PlayStation Studios logo on it.
Yeah, it's again okay. So there we go. It is a Sony IP. So
yeah,
that's something. That's Sony teaming up with the competition and going.
I heard. I this was a while back. I haven't really followed it. But I heard Microsoft went around Sony and directly worked with MLB to get that to happen. I don't know how accurate that is. Somebody
maybe
might have to.
But the thing is, Sony makes the game.
Yeah.
So they may have gone to MLB and said, and I don't know the history of it, and said, but you brought it up. If they went to MLB would still have to incentivize Sony. So Sony goes, okay, we'll put it on Xbox. It's not
here, I found an article. This was back in April. It says, let me see.
See, this wouldn't be like Tekken. Tekken was a Sony exclusive for a long time, and then all of a sudden came out on Xbox. But that was Namco who did that. Namco decided to throw it over. Now I don't know if they had an exclusivity deal with Sony.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Sony IP.
This is an article I found back in April. It says there's really nothing Sony can do about the situation. While Sony owned San Diego Studios as a developer, MLB Association still owns the MLB license. The association decided to extend that license to other platforms. It could have dissented and lost the license altogether, but Sony agreed with the direction the game was going to be taking.
So they were basically forced into it. So that's like I said, they probably did go to MLB and said, "Hey, we want to do this," and MLB said, "Hey, Sony, guess what? Guess what you're going to be doing now?
Yeah.
you're going to make this for Xbox, or you're going to lose the license to make these games.
Now, that was a little fucking hardcore old school, like, fuck you to Microsoft. I mean, to Sony by Xbox deciding to put it day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's funny. People are like, oh, but Xbox is Game Pass. Well, Sony has a version of. It's just not as popular.
Yeah.
Now they're not doing day one releases like that, but they have a version of this subscription service that, like Game Pass. No one just talks about it. Now, I don't have it. I don't use it. But
PlayStation Now, it's about the same price actually, maybe a little bit cheaper. But the difference between that though is that Xbox Game Pass goes between console, PC, and cloud.
Right. Well, that's because they with PC, that makes sense. Obviously, it's Microsoft. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And cloud, that makes sense too because, well, it's Microsoft now.
Well, PlayStation Now does have cloud. PlayStation Now does have cloud. I've actually thought about checking it out because I've been using Remote Play actually on my phone. I don't know if you've tried to use Remote Play with your PlayStation.
I've not. No.
Your phone, or you could put it on you could do it in your phone, your computer, a tablet, any kind of device. You could download the PlayStation Remote app. And it actually works pretty good. I have like let me grab it.
While you're grabbing that, my point was though, people like to say, well, Game Pass, like Sony doesn't have the version, their version of, and they try to use that as a trump card as to why Xbox is better than PlayStation. Now, is it a better system that they have than the PlayStation Now? Probably. But they still have a version of. So
the day one releases, plus they have EA Play included in it. They also have which also includes like all the Star Wars EA games, all the Maddens, all the FIFAs, and all that.
Right.
And they're basically buying up a whole bunch of studios for content, like when they bought Bethesda and all that. So they have.
I remember that.
Games.
Yeah.
But basically, what I have this for Xbox too. You can put your cell phone on it, connect Remote Play, or play PlayStation Now Cloud, and then just play it.
You just play it on your phone?
Yeah. And I think with Cloud, you can play it away from home. So I'm going to buy a controller called the Backbone that you can use with your phone. And you could basically essentially play. I know xCloud works and Remote Play for Xbox works, where if you're out of state, you can still Remote Play from your console. I don't know if PlayStation Now or PlayStation Remote Play works like that yet, but I know Microsoft has it set up where you can Remote Play anywhere.
Very interesting.
From your phone. But I know a lot of people are anti-cloud gaming and stuff, and I kind of was like that. But it's pretty cool because like I was playing Remote Play on my PlayStation the other day, and I was like in the living room watching the football game instead of just being on my console. So it's kind of cool to like, neat. I'm over here trying to get trophies and stuff while I'm watching TV. I don't know. I'm a noob to this world, so the cloud gaming and all that is.
You know more about it than I do because I think I'm just old and set in my ways. I just want to give me the classic experience. Let me have the controller and a couch, and I'm good. Speaking of watching football the other day, how's your Cowboys looking this year?
Actually, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. Like I told you, I would take that loss over any day. To go from not even winning your division to losing by less than 3 points to the champs.
I will say.
And your QB not playing in 10 months.
Yeah. Okay. People are on that like he's fucking Jesus Christ himself throwing the football. Get over it. It's his job. He's supposed to throw the football like he throws the football. That's what training is for. That's what training camp is for. That's what rehabilitation is for.
But he didn't throw in training camp.
I understand what you're saying. But so this is where, so I just want our audience to know this. I'm a huge fucking Cowboy hater. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate Cowboy Nation. I hate seeing We Dem Boys. Freaking, Jerry Jones is a scumbag, and I'd have a beer with him, but I can't stand his football team, and I can't stand you Cowboys fans. And Eric is probably one of the reasons why I don't like the fans, because he's a super fan, and I appreciate your dedication, Cowboys fans. I appreciate that you love your team win or lose. I do
Uh-huh.
appreciate it. Now, all that being said, they didn't look that bad the other night. Honestly, they didn't look that bad the other night. I've been saying, you know, me and Eric, we talk a lot, especially during football season and football games. You know, we do fantasy football. We were literally texting back and forth the entire Cowboys game the other night. I've been saying, you know, I like to give, you know, Dak a lot of shit, but I think he's a good kid. He's a good person, honestly. He has gotten better and better and better every single year he's been in the league. He still needs an offensive line and they need a defense, but I don't think you'll disagree with me on that.
They just got fucked, by the way, because their starter tackle got suspended for 5 games.
For what?
Substance abuse.
Jeez. Okay.
But the thing is, they're saying it's because he refused to test, so you might as well say you're guilty by then if you're refusing to test.
Kind of, yeah, because that's
kind of his fucking fault.
That's part of the job description. You know, as a professional athlete, you're going to get tested for drugs and roids and all that other stuff. So,
fun fact, random trivia: this game, if I remember correctly, I think it was only the 9th time in NFL history where the QB threw for over 400 yards and the team lost. I think. Because his stats were pretty good.
Even last year, because last year he went like 400 passing yards, 450, and then almost 500, like 3 games back to back. And I don't know if they won those. And then he got hurt, obviously. But no, you know, I'll say this: they did look good. And you know, as much as I hate something or someone, or in this case, 52 guys, you know, on the same team. I'm fair, I think, and I like to give credit where credit's due. And they did pretty good. The defense was better than it had been in a while. 4 turnovers.
Couldn't get any worse than last year.
4 turnovers, which is great, but the offense has to capitalize on those turnovers, and they didn't really do that. I think the clock management was pretty poor at times. Fucking Dak threw 55 passes or something. You got to run the ball. Dallas Cowboys.
Unfortunately,
got to keep pounding the ball. That's clock management when you do that.
Yeah,
you have to.
Unfortunately, with the Buccaneers, though, you're going to see this with not just Dallas, but every team they play. I think they were 7th best on the run stop last year.
Buccaneers have a good defense. I've got their
rushing defense.
Yes,
not many people. I think there's only been 2 running backs that have gotten over 100 yards on them. But if you notice, I went back and looked at the highlights. They started to use, even though Zeke couldn't get the run, they started to use him smartly because he was making some clutch blocks, preventing Dak from getting fucking sacked. There was a couple times where you saw him, and I was like, okay, that's at least he's being useful for that. Because
see,
he's on your fantasy team. He's on your fantasy team. Cooper was like literally like all day, just.
I mean, look,
catching it.
I got what I wanted, and I'm not such a big hater that I don't realize like I want to win my fantasy league. So Amari Cooper was available. He was the best receiver available at the time, so I fucking snatched him up, and I'm glad. What do you have? A couple touchdowns.
I think he had
catches over 100 yards receiving. 2 touchdowns. He got me 29 points, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, like I was telling you, he's the new Witten, man. He's no matter what. Like that last game, he was always open, and whoever was covering him, they should have just kept focusing on that. That was a weak link.
So Marcos, who's in our fantasy league, he texted me the other day, you know, because we were talking about it. I think I was talking about it on stream or something, or you know, we're talking about it in I forget why, but he was like, "Hey, is Cooper really that good?" Because I think it was after I drafted him, and he knows how much I hate the Dallas Cowboys, so he was shocked that I picked up a Dallas Cowboy. But I told him, I'm like, "Look, I want to win." Like if I didn't have Mahomes and Dak was available, I'd probably take Dak because for fantasy, dude, he threw for 400 fucking yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, come on, of course. But I told him, I'm like, you know, Amari Cooper I would put him in the top 10 in wide receivers in the NFL right now. I said he's a great route runner. He creates separation. He's got good hands. Dak just has to put the ball where he can catch it. If he does, he will. You know,
and what's funny though is
Marcos
Most of
literally
the
was
time.
like, "I'm just surprised you picked up a Cowboy," and I'm like, "Look, I want to win," and he was the
Yeah.
best wide receiver at that point in the draft, so I
Yeah.
took him.
But what's funny is though is when you watch the receivers on Dallas, like CeeDee Lamb's always doing these crazy like turning and all this. And
Mhm.
Cooper, he's not even thinking about it when he catches. Like he literally could just turn and just go like this, and he isn't even effortless. Like when you
He's
watch, it's like
he's a good receiver, man. He really is. That was a
completely
really good.
effortless
It was a really good pickup when they got him from
for a first round draft pick.
yeah, from Las Vegas. That was a really good pickup. And this is the funny thing, because I remember when Dallas got him a couple of seasons back, and I remember telling Eric, I'm like, watch, you're gonna see this motherfucker play like he does, like he can.
Mhm.
Because I knew the name when he was on the Raiders.
Yeah.
But he was on a shitty team that wasn't winning. And when you're on a shitty team that's not winning, it messes with your psyche. So once you get traded, all of a sudden, boom, okay, you know what? I'm refreshed. Brand
Well,
new,
perfect example.
Slate.
Not to interrupt, perfect example on Thursday night, Antonio Brown looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh man, and Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady, I even texted you this. I was like, Tom Brady looks like he doesn't have anything to prove. He don't have a care in the world. It's like he's playing in the middle of the street. And every time he goes to the sideline, someone yelled car, and when he comes back out, someone's saying game on, because like he's just out there having fun, and he has nothing to prove at this point. He's got most records, and he'll continue to stack on top of that before this year's over. Is this the last year of his career?
No.
I think he can go another one if he stays healthy, barring any major
real quick, fuck you. I know annoying Dallas Cowboy fans, and I'm not one of those. I talk about all the teams.
You're not that bad. You do sometimes get a little bit like I'll tell you this. I'll say this about you. When they win their first game, you're not going to be going Super Bowl, watch Super Bowl, because that's all I fucking hear around here. If you guys didn't know, I live in Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah, so you're in the headquarters.
I'm in the headquarters. One win, Super Bowl.
That'd be like if you lived in the area where Wrigley Field is at for baseball. Of course, you're going to hear Cubbies fans.
Oh, I'd be down there. I've been down there, and I love it. I love it. But see, this is the thing. Cubs fans are probably annoying to Brewers fans and Cardinals fans and White Sox fans, right? So I understand it. I get it. Just like Boston fans are annoying to Yankees fans and vice versa. So I understand it. But fuck the Cowboys. I'm actually glad football's in full swing, and I didn't want football to hijack. Again, guys, we're going to talk about everything, y'all. So you want some fantasy help? Let's talk about it.
Real quick though, full disclosure: if anybody watching this comes at me with that "fuck the Cowboys" bullshit, I guarantee after y'all probably have some fucking shitty ass fucking team like the fucking Jets or the Giants.
The Bengals or
Giants fans are the fucking worst, and Eagles fans, Giants fans, and Eagles fans.
Dude, the NFC.
First of all, God bless your heart, Giants fans. God bless your hearts. But no, I concentrate more on all the teams anyway because of fantasy.
Right.
Which our fantasy league, this year's gonna be tough.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, we'll tell you why in a minute. You want to talk about some fantasy fuck shit going on? So I know it's gonna be asked, and I want to address it. Who's your team, Jay? You don't like the Cowboys? Who's your team? My team is whoever Dallas is playing that week. That's who I root for. I don't have a team necessarily. I kind of lean on players. I really like this guy. Like I was a big Breeze fan. Wasn't necessarily a Saints fan. I liked when he won. So if he won, the Saints won, obviously. I was a huge Drew Brees fan. I'm a fan of Tom Brady. I think it's ridiculous and funny how much hate he gets. And I think it's hilarious. I love hearing it. And I'm just like,
I don't hate him. I think it's just weird. No,
you don't. You never talk bad about him.
I think I don't know, man. As far as fantasy league goes, though, we actually have 10 guys now. So in theory, it's a little bit more difficult. But I gotta go ahead and bitch, man. The only reason why people like Kirk have such a good team, and I get it. Oh, these guys don't have a keeper pick because they didn't play last year.
It out. So explain that though. So we
have keeper picks.
Right.
In my opinion, if you didn't play last year, tough shit.
Okay, so let me explain that. We have 4 new guys in our league this year. We had 8 last year, 2 dropped, and 4 came on. So now we're at 10. One rule we have in our league is you can franchise one player, but no more than you can't have the player more than 2 years in a row. So
Yeah.
last year I drafted Mahomes. I franchised him, so I automatically get him this year. So I can't franchise him again. He's got to go back into the draft pool next season. So with the new guys, we were like, well, what if you guys picked from
The two that dropped
that were abandoned? Go ahead and pick a guy. And it somehow turned into, well, since they don't get a franchise or a keeper, then they get the first 4 picks.
And that fucked you, by the way.
It fucked me hard because I had number 1 pick. I was going to fucking get McCaffrey. And you know who fucking picked up McCaffrey? Stupid fucking Norm. Norm the fucking game.
No, hold on. This is where I was going with this. All the new people have all these super fucking teams. All of them.
They do.
Norm has a good fucking team.
Yeah,
Kirk
I'm
has
still
a good team.
going to beat Norm's ass this week.
Marcos has a good team, and Billy has a fucking all bullshit. That's fucking horse shit.
Yeah, because Billy didn't play last year, and now Billy's back,
and he has a fucking power team.
He does, and we got guys in our league. I'm not going to say his name, Aaron, making dumb ass fucking trades, stupid ass trades to these noobs, these rookies.
Why would you help somebody brand new to the fucking league? It should be us against them.
All because Aaron is a stupid goddamn Detroit Lions fan, and he wants to suck Matthew Stafford's dick through his butthole, so he had to have Matthew Stafford. So he gave him what? Antonio Brown and another guy. And it's like, dude, even your bench is fucking bad at Billy. Billy was here earlier, and we were talking about that, and we were bitching about this. And I looked at Kirk's team, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, his bench is better than some people's starting lineups. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, these guys got fucking good teams, dude. Like, okay, like for example, well, okay, I'll go over his fucking thing. So this is Kirk. He has Dak, Jay Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Hopkins, CeeDee Lambs,
Joe Mixon. Sorry.
Gronk,
yeah.
Fucking Lockett, Zorloin, 49ers defense. Then he has Jay Connor, Chase Edmonds, Keenan Allen, Antonio Brown, Claypool, and fucking Jarwin.
Those last what, 10 or 7 were his bench. After the 49ers defense, that's his bench. It's ridiculous. He's got a lot of number 1s on a lot of teams. Mixon, Lockett. I mean, you could say Metcalf, but Lockett's right there, number 2 receiver on. He's no schmuck.
Can I even see the fucking ranking of where half his guys are on this app? The bottom line is the way that we did the picks with the new guys getting to go first before the actual like draft picks. That fucked. Not only
that, the draft order after that was randomized, which I have no problem with. Okay, here's the fucking problem though. I was in the middle. Towards middle end every single fucking round.
Yeah.
As the commissioner, Rufus, you have to be conscious about things like that and step in and go, well, you know what? It's really not fair if this person has the last pick for 4 of our 15 rounds. Let me change things up a little bit. Everybody should have that last pick.
It's all right. You know what? That's cool. Let these guys think they know it all.
You know what though? That being said, I got Norm week 1. Cooper balled out. Thank you, Dak. Norm's going down week 1. Fuck you, Norm.
I still have a chance, even though I'm not winning by much right now. I have a chance, depending if some of these guys show up. Because I got Calvin Ridley, who's ranked number 1 receiver.
Okay.
I got Mark Andrews, who's top 3 tight end. I got Patriots defense against Miami. And I got the guy that's replacing Gus Edwards on Baltimore as my flex. And I got Jonathan Taylor from Colts, who's every single fucking website said Taylor is a guy to pick up. So
what position does he play?
Running back. And then I got the only thing I really got fucked on was quarterback. And I'm attributing that mostly to these new guys getting to have that pick.
Yeah, but Dak wasn't taken round 1, dude. Who did you franchise?
I franchised Zeke.
You franchised Zeke. Your number one pick should have been a fucking receiver or a quarterback at that point. If you want the best of the best, your number one pick should have been a receiver or a quarterback. You know, Eric.
That's fair, but
Dak is going to put points up.
But here's the thing
with that. Because, dude, Sasha destroyed us last year, and he won the fucking trophy mainly due to Dak.
Yeah.
Like two years ago. Wait, when was it? You know what I mean.
Here's the thing, though, man, is the last 2 seasons, I was weak on everything else but tight end and quarterback. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something different this year. Because I always get there, and then I never do.
I can understand you taking the tight end first round because you got – who do you got? Kelsey, Ertz, Kittle, and maybe one other guy, and then it gets extremely weak after that.
Yeah.
But a lot of those top guys were already franchised, and they weren't available. And now my weakest spot is tight end. I got Mahomes. You know, we're sitting here bitching about everyone else, but I got Mahomes. I got Aaron Jones, who is the number 1 running back for Green Bay because he was the best player available by the time it got down to me, number 5 pick, round 1.
Yeah.
I can't bitch about that pick, though. That's a good pick. Would I rather have Christian McCaffrey? Yes. Would I rather have McCaffrey and Jones? Well, yeah. But if I got McCaffrey, somebody else would have picked up Jones. I have Montgomery, David Montgomery from the Bears. He's their number 1 guy. So my running backs are okay. They're I would say strong. Okay, they're solid. Let's say solid.
Mine are all right too.
Quarterback
the website I looked at when I ranked our league, I was ranked 3rd best team.
Okay.
The website I looked at. I'm banking on Trevor Lawrence, the new fucking Jaguars QB.
I know you are. So hang on, let me run down the rest of my team real fast. I got Cooper, who got me almost 27 points the other night.
And that's going to be every week.
I agree. That's why I picked him up. I got Stephon Diggs, who he's got fucking Justin Hebert throwing at him. Isn't that his name? Hubert throwing at him. He's one of the best Sorry, hang on. No. He's on LA. Who's the Bills guy? Who's the Bills quarterback? Josh Allen, right?
I was going to get him, but stupid Salsa took him right before. She was the pick right before me.
And he, in my opinion, is top 5 quarterback in the league. Definitely top 10. You know, you might be able to say, well, he's number 6, maybe number 7, but he's throwing at Stephon Diggs. So, all right, I'm comfortable with that. I have Hawkinson, who is Detroit's tight end.
Yeah,
I don't feel good about that, but he was literally the best tight end available when I got around to drafting a tight end. My kicker is Crosby from Green Bay.
Analysis say he's consistent at least.
Okay, I'll take consistent. That's fine because it's always been an issue in the past. I got Higgins for T. Higgins for the Bengals. I think he's their number 2 guy, right? It's not a bad pick. Crosby, the Green Bay kicker. I think that's good because Aaron Rodgers is going to put a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, so I always rotate weekly on kickers anyway. I always look for the best matchup on kicker and defense. But I think I'm going to stick with my guy because I got the Bucks.
The Bucks guy. That's not a bad. It's not a bad pick. I've got the Bucks defense. They got me 7.3 points as well, so they did okay. I mean, fuck, Dak put 4 touchdowns on the board and 400 yards. So the fact that I got 7 points out of them, all right, I'll take it. I think my bench is pretty weak. I've got Fitzpatrick, Mostert, who is from San Fran. Davis, who is a Jets wide receiver. Samuel is a Washington Redskins receiver. Shepard is a Giants receiver. And I got the Saints defense. I don't have any running. I got 1 running back on my bench.
Mostert is always mentioned as a sleeper. So you just the only problem right now that's making every 49er iffy is their quarterback situation is all weird right now. And any team right now that has a weird quarterback situation, like the Eagles, the 49ers, it's all iffy because it's dependent on what kind of, I guess, trust the offensive coordinator is going to have with the quarterback.
Right. So, which is good in this case with Mostert, who's on San Francisco, because I mean, how did Garoppolo lose his job? Like, why is it even a question? I mean, I understand he did okay last season. He didn't get hurt at least, right?
He worked in mysterious ways, man.
You're not wrong.
And then another issue is all the teams that do running back by committee also is a lot of them still haven't really decided who their RB1s are. So that's
which is why the Ravens guy went down. I don't think it was smart of you to take the backup because they're a back by committee team. Yeah, but are you going to start both? Unless you're starting both of them.
I took the guy that was de facto, the guy that was the backup already, right?
Yeah.
And then I took the guy they signed immediately.
Okay. Right.
Devonta Freeman. Like literally like an hour later they signed him because he was a free agent.
Right, but my point is this. They do back by committee, which means not one of those guys is going to get, 25, 30 touches.
Yeah,
now it only takes one
guy that Norm's going to have on his team.
Do what now?
That's one less guy that Norm's going to use to replace the guy that he lost.
Okay, Norm did have him. He did have their starter, didn't he? All right, so I should be thanking you.
I was like, okay, Norm's going to try to find. That's why I stacked my running backs on my bench because I don't want whoever just lost their starting running back to get a decent. I'll wait till the end of this week and put that guy on the waiver for another week.
Norm has Saquon Barkley as well. Barkley gets hurt a lot.
Yeah,
he gets hurt a lot.
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't gotten hurt during practice.
I know he's already on the app. He's showing questionable right now.
Well, see, Jacobs is my RB. He's going to be my RB3, and he's questionable still from the Raiders, and he's always injury fucking prone too. And I'm sure we lost a lot of people watching this sports. I always get that during my streams. I don't watch sports.
Hey, it's okay, but you know what? Some people do. And if we're going to talk about movies and games and toys and everything else, why not sports? I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So
it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow Monday, after Monday, to see how many of these guys that stacked our roster to see what they do, because I'm going to be watching that waiver wire closely because I think stupid Billy's going to make some stupid mistakes. Kirk's going to make some stupid mistakes. Fucking Aaron's going to make stupid mistakes.
Aaron has already made stupid mistakes.
That's why I'm keeping an eye. Aaron's going to fuck up.
Did you like that, what I said in the group chat? I said, breaking news. ESPN just recorded worst trade in the history of fantasy football.
It's bad. So what I went, man, with some of my positions is I went based, like, you can't always trust what you see all these fantasy websites doing, but I really just was like, all right, I'm just going to go for it. You know what I mean? It's a 10-man league. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yes. Yes. I think
even though Kirk is a fuck right now.
Kirk is a fuck. Kirk, if you're watching this, and I don't think he does, I don't think he watches us, fuck you right now, pussy. But you have a bad habit of listening to too many experts, quote unquote. I know you're doing your homework, but sometimes the matchups just don't make sense to me whenever you're making your moves and you're setting your starting lineups and all that kind of stuff. But they don't have to make sense to me. It's your team, so it doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, it's done pretty good for me. I've make it to the at least almost close to the end.
You do every year. You've been in the playoffs. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. I think year one, it was you and Rufus in the finals, wasn't it? Or was it Billy and Rufus in the finals?
And if you go to the trophy section of our league, I have a couple of second place trophies in my trophy.
Wait a minute. We have a trophy section?
Yeah, there's trophies. You even get awards for most points for certain weeks. And
where's that?
So if you're on iPhone,
I am.
Go to League.
Okay, I'm there.
Hall of Fame.
What?
And there should be a trophy section actually.
Okay.
I know there's one on computer. You can actually look at trophies that you've won.
Interesting.
I know I've seen it. On mine, you have like a trophy case.
I don't see that on the app.
Yeah, it'd be on the computer. There's a trophy case that you have.
Okay, I'll have to go to the computer. But what I'm showing is Fantasy Super Bowl champions. So it has all of our champions listed from.
Yeah.
Actually,
it doesn't include 2017 for some reason. He had to start a new.
Okay, which was Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus won at the first, and then Billy was in 18. His name, dude. His name.
Yeah.
What's your fantasy team name right now?
It's Zeke and Destroy. It was Amari Little Christmas.
All right.
I think 2018. That's when I made second place, I want to say.
Do you remember all your team names, or at least more of them?
Amari Little Christmas and Zeke and Destroy, and I can't remember any other ones. Baby Got Dak.
Baby Got Dak. That's right. I've had let's see. I've had the Breeze Knees. Broke Dak Mountain. That's one of my favorites. Pat Mahomes' butt was last season. And this year it's Stephon Diggs in his ass.
Yeah. You know, one of the defensive guys on Cowboys is his brother.
Who?
Trayvon Diggs.
Oh, okay, that's Stephon Diggs' brother.
I think he made an interception, I want to say.
Interesting. All right.
Did you watch all of Hard Knocks?
No, I did not.
Okay, so he was the one that had the kid that kept getting Dak and Patrick Mahomes confused.
Okay, that's funny.
So when he kept saying he wanted to meet Dak, but then he kept also saying he wanted to meet Patrick Mahomes. So when he met Dak, he asked Dak, "Are you Patrick Mahomes?" But then him and Dak played catch. But he stole the show on Hard Knocks, dude. Like every week he was on, everybody talked about him because he was in the crowd cheering his dad. He's like, "Let's go, don't give up," and they're like, and then he did like a touchdown dance and stuff like that, and they're like, "Man, this kid's gonna be a star one day." They're all saying that because he was saying he wants to play football when he grows up, and
yeah,
I guess a lot of people said it. I think Skip and Shannon said it reminded them when Christian McCaffrey was a kid, because
his dad is Ed McCaffrey.
Because his dad was on Hard Knocks, I think.
Okay,
so they said it reminded them of that.
That's funny. Oh yeah, Shannon would have played with McCaffrey.
Yeah, Shannon's team was the first. They were the first team on Hard Knocks. Shannon's team.
Okay, interesting.
So that's why Shannon throws shade about Hard Knocks and stuff right now. He's kind of throwing shade about it.
Yeah, I think Shannon would have played with Ed McCaffrey. Ed McCaffrey was a receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Look it up.
On the Broncos. I think he was there for those 2 championships, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, Ed, Broncos wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, he played for Broncos from 95 to 03.
Then he was part of both of those Broncos championship teams with LA.
He's a 3-time champion, Super Bowl champion.
Who else? Oh, because he won it with
San Fran.
In what year?
Okay, so he was Giants from 91 to 93.
Okay.
And he was 49ers 94.
Okay, they won that one with Steve Young at quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, and then he was Broncos from 95 to 03. Man, he really didn't play that long.
What's he got? 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah.
That's not short. I mean,
I know, but I guess you just think of guys like Breeze and fucking Brady.
I mean, yeah, but you're protected a little more at quarterback.
Yeah.
I think you get roughed up a little more at quarterback too, though. But receivers don't do what Jerry Rice did. They don't play that long. Receivers don't play as long as who's the guy on the Cardinals right now? Fitzgerald, thank you. Yes, they don't play as long as these guys have played. So if he got 10, 12 years out of it, it's not a bad career. And 3 rings? Shit, okay. I didn't know he was on those 94 Niners team.
Yeah, it was just a random fact because we brought up McCaffrey and then you brought up Stephon Diggs.
Right. Okay, interesting.
They said the kid, that they could see the kid since it's already a football family with 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So, guys, I know, man, we did a lot of football talk. That's all right, though. That's what we do. If football talk is, fantasy talk is kind of like, hey, guys, not my jam, let us know, but be respectful about it. We won't hijack the chat too often.
I mean, we'll talk more about it if you act like a dick.
Yeah, if you act like a dick, it'll be every episode. We'll just
change it to fantasy. We'll just change it to a fantasy podcast.
But shit, maybe we should start one of those anyway. How many of those are out there? There's got to be tons.
There's quite a few.
There's got to be. Yeah,
there's a lot, but it's a lot of them are just guys that are just casually.
True, that's what we would be casually talking about it.
It's stuff I care about. And if I'm not having fun, I'm not gonna want to do it. I know you're the same.
I feel you. But yeah, our league is interesting right now. Everybody's tied for first or tied for last, depending on how you want to look at it. Everyone's 0-0. We'll see how things shape up at the end of the weekend here.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Still the start of the season. Anything could happen. Players can get hurt. Players can get traded.
You realize if we did a podcast, like a fantasy football podcast, we'd probably have to upload twice a week during football season. Because you want to recap on Sunday who did what.
Yeah.
You want your projections on who's going to do well the next week.
Well, also if any groundbreaking reports.
That's what I mean.
Groundbreaking reports or trades, yeah. Injuries.
Right, trades, injuries, all that kind of stuff. We'd have to do it a couple times a week.
Sleepers for the week. Bust for the week.
Yeah. Boston sleepers. I like that.
Be a lot of things. Predictions.
For sure, predictions. We could even do a pick'em segment. Are you in a pick'em league?
No, I'm not.
I am. I'm in a pick'em league. I have been the last 3 years. Basically, you just pick what team you think is going to win.
You do that for money, though, right?
Yeah, it's a $20 buy-in.
I'm doing the free Fox, free Fox and Bud Light stuff. Like you enter there for free and you can win money. So.
Oh, cool. It's sponsored though, so yeah.
Yeah, the Fox stuff is like NASCAR, baseball, football, college,
right.
NFL. It's everything basically. So you just kind of. It's even had funny stuff like in the past, like with if it's during an election year, it'll have like bets on who will say what first and stuff like that.
That's funny. Yeah. So my Pick'em League is actually the CBS Sports app as well. It has all that stuff too, and I'm sure I could go in there if I was in a league. But yeah. I mean, okay. So you know what?
Just for example, because I know you're a baseball guy, let me show you what the latest baseball thing is. So this is $1,000 guaranteed, and it's a thing between the Phillies and the Mets, and it says which team will win and by how much, and you pick like a choice, and it shows you the percentage of how many people are going by that. So the majority of people think the Phillies will win by 1 to 2 points.
Okay.
Between the Mets. And then how many players will get on base in the 7th inning? 47% of people think 2.
Okay.
How many total hits will there be in the 8th? 40 think 2. So basically you just kind of guess like
gotcha.
Things that happen in the game.
So in this Pick'em League, I'm going to run this by you. I picked the Buccaneers to beat the Cowboys. So I'm already, I've got a one in the win column. Cardinals, Titans. Who do you think?
Cardinals who?
Cardinals, Titans.
Titans.
I'm going Titans as well. Jags and Texans.
Jags.
Okay. Chargers, Redskins.
Chargers.
Vikings, Bengals.
Vikings.
Jets, Panthers.
Panthers.
Eagles, Falcons.
Falcons.
Steelers, Bills.
Bills.
Niners, Lions.
Oh, man. I'm going to go Lions.
Okay. Seahawks and Colts.
I'm going to go to Colts.
You're going Colts?
Yeah.
Browns and Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Broncos, Giants.
Broncos.
Packers, Saints.
Packers.
Patriots, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Rams, Bears.
I'm gonna say Rams.
And Ravens and Raiders.
Ravens.
So you picked the exact same way I did, except for Niners, Lions. I think the Niners are going to take that.
The only reason why I didn't pick that is because their QB situation's all fucked, and I didn't watch any of their preseason shit. So I don't know how. I don't know. I just don't know how the team is going right now. Not to say they suck or anything. I just think Lions have Goff. Who has Goff now?
Lions. But
I think
basically,
Goff
all they did was traded him for Stafford and didn't upgrade anything else. So now Goff has the same shitty team Stafford had.
Yeah, but
You think Goff's a better quarterback than Stafford?
Okay,
I don't.
Is it home?
It is home.
I think Lions are gonna win.
Okay, and Seahawks and Colts. You pick the Colts. I think Seahawks. Dude, fucking Russell Wilson.
True.
You know, they're not at home, but it's who did the Colts have?
Well, Colts have my fucking running back, so I'm gonna say I want him to score at least.
Yeah, but you want him to score, but wanting your player to do well versus what team you think is going to win are two different things.
Manifesting it. It's prediction anyway.
You're right. They have Wentz.
Yeah, they do. But they also have they have good players though. He has a decent team behind him. Let me look.
Okay. I don't think they win. I think the Seahawks will beat them.
More than likely, probably, but any given Sunday.
You're not wrong. There's truth to that statement. You're not wrong.
I think I had their kicker. I got rid of his ass.
I got rid of his ass.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I think interesting.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a good way to get out.
Yeah, no. Hey, welcome back episode, an hour and a half almost. So I like it. Guys, give us some topics if you want. Put it in the comments below. I guarantee you people are going to want to know what we think about the Wada situation. So I would be prepared to talk about that next week.
Oh, yeah. Definitely probably talk about that.
We should talk about it anyways, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Interesting.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you guys soon. Thank you.